Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a return subscriber, you know I love you, you know I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. Okay, so today, as usual, as sometimes I have my husband here. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, name is Wale, and it's another privilege to be back here.
Yeah, it's a privilege to have you here. Anyways guys, so for the past 2 weeks we've been trying to answer the questions you people asked on YouTube, and we've just had to talk about finances in marriage and the rest of it. So we'll be continuing with the questions you guys asked, and we'll be trying to address all of your questions that you asked on YouTube. Right, so are you ready? All right guys, so let us start. So the next question we have here says, is from Tolani, and she said, I asked this question in Instagram, but I think I should ask it here too. Is it okay not to be sexually attracted to a guy in the early stages of relationship? I don't think we addressed that on Instagram. Keeping in mind that you both have been friends for long, and what can one do in this case? I think we answered the question like that. But anyways, let us just, in case we didn't, so let's just answer that. So she said, so the first thing is, okay, I said, is sexual attraction very much needed in the early stage of relationship? That reminds me of the lady I was counseling yesterday night. So, yes, now.
I said counselor.
Yeah, now. What will you call that session?
I'm just...
Anyway, so the first thing she asked was, is it, what was wrong with this?
No,
woman?
you opened it.
Said, is it okay not to be sexually attracted to a guy in the early stages of relationship? What do you think?
I'm not a guy.
You're not a guy.
Oh, I'm not a lady. She's the lady that is asking.
Okay, well, from personal experience, I think, to me, okay, I think it's okay, right? And I know some people it might be a problem, but I don't think you should continue if after you've been in a relationship and you still are not. You know, when I met my husband, you see, I dated him in faith. You know, I loved him intellectually, like I loved him, you understand? But that attraction, that's, you know, I didn't have that, and I'm being like totally honest. I didn't have that attraction at the beginning of our relationship, right? But the more we got to know each other, the more we spoke, the more we interacted, the more we talked, you know, the more we share conversations, the more my feelings, you know, started to arouse, the more, you know, sexually attracted I started to become, you understand? But yeah, for me, it was not, in short, most times when it is sexual attraction first, that relationship, to me, all the relationships I've had, it's always a red flag. Right? When I am sexually lusting after this person first, that is usually a problem. That's usually an indication to me that this relationship is not right. Right? So if it's just about physical attraction, then something is wrong. But I'm not saying that if you are sexually attracted to your partner when you first met the person, there's something wrong. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you should marry someone you're not attracted to. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying give it time, build friendship. The more you get closer to each other, the more you get attracted, the more you see the person in a new light, the more conversation you have, the more, you know, you guys, you know, you will get there. But the problem is what?
No, she said in the question that they are friends. They've been friends for a while, so it's a bit different. Keeping in mind that you both have been friends for long.
Yeah, I think that when you're friends for long, it clouds that too. Because when you've seen this person as your friend, you understand, to navigate from friendship to sexual attraction, it takes time. So then you now need to start to date. You understand? Take yourself out on romantic dates, you know, talk about dating, you know, do things that couples do, you understand, and then see if you get there. But the danger is not getting there and deciding to take the next step. That's the problem. But that's at the beginning. If you are not sexually attracted, is it a sign of danger? I don't think so, because that was it for me, and I didn't let go because I was intellectual. So there should be something that attracts you to him. If sexual attraction, I like that you said sexual attraction. If you're attracted to him in every other area, then give sexual attraction a little bit of time. It will get there, you understand? But yeah, just make sure that every other thing that needs to be there is put in place, and then date each other, and then see if that happens. Right? What do you think?
I think that if he was a guy who said this, I would have been worried.
So for you guys, sexual attraction has to come first?
It's almost part of it. Like, it may not be pronounced, but you must desire the person physically. Like, there has to be an iota of it, some measure of it. Do you understand? But considering it's a female, it's a bit difficult for me to wrap my mind around, because I know that as a guy I can have a number of female friends, and yes, when I call a lady my friend, she's a friend in all sense of the word. However, if for any reason both of us starts to think or move towards romantic entanglement, from the outset I will know that it can't work. Do you understand? I will know that my friendship, my liking for you cannot cross that point. Do you understand? And I won't stress myself.
But you know, there's a saying that marry your friend, look out of your friends and choose your husband.
It's true, but that's what I'm saying. All your friends, if I have 5 female friends now, and I'm close to them for different reasons, it's not all of them that I can be romantically
involved with.
Do you get? So if 5 of them one day wakes up and call me the same day and be like, guy, Mo, take this thing to the next level from outing state B. It's not possible that all the 5 of them I can connect with them romantically. So if the one that I can't connect you with romantically, it doesn't stop the person from being my friend. But I know from the out that me and you, do you understand? That's but I maybe as guys I'm being over logical about it. But I also know that the matters of romantic and sexual attraction does not build out of nothing. So you need something to cling on to. So that's one of the reasons I was asking the question that what made you guys say you want to move. So assuming, like my wife was saying, that both of you were good friends and the guy said, let's move the ministry to the permanent site. From the outset, what was your first instinct? Did your mind first say no? And maybe you're now thinking of how good of a friend he has been, and you're like, oh, I should not treat him that way. Because if the first instinct that came to your mind is impossible, it may be one of the problems that you're having.
But you know, for us ladies though, majority of ladies, even women, even pastors' wives and the rest of it that you listen to will tell you that when their husband first approached them, their first response was no.
No, I'm not saying no. Women have two,
even me.
No, women have 2 responses. The verbal response and the emotional response.
That's both verbally and emotionally.
Because there's something I have known or I've come to experience with women that even when you ask a girl out, most times, 9 out of 10 times, as a guy, I know a girl that will say yes to me or not.
You think?
Wait.
You think?
No, just hold on.
Hold on.
So there's a different thing if it's low. Do you understand? But inexistent completely. I don't know how you can build one from it if it is inexistent.
But you know, I was not sexually attracted to you when we started dating.
It wasn't about sexual attraction from the outset. Or how do I explain it?
I think that let me explain.
Okay, wait. Do you know that even when you're talking about sexual attraction, it's not necessarily about arousal?
I know.
Okay, so if for instance now I ask a girl out and she likes me, but I don't turn her on exactly, or she doesn't feel that way, but she likes me enough to want to take the plunge. You know, that's a different thing entirely.
That's what I'm saying.
No, just hold on.
That there's something else about him that attracts you to him.
No, just the point I'm trying to make is that seems to work or operable for 2 random people who met each other for that purpose. But if I'm your friend, like you said, in my head I should know. I don't know, maybe because I'm a guy, I should know if there is a possibility at all. I know that people like Pastor Hem has said that our ideal man was different from our husband. It's a different thing entirely. Because I know that ideal may not necessarily translate to what you need. And her husband
was not the person that she wanted to date.
I know she was even dating someone else.
Exactly, who was like opposite of who her husband was. I'm just trying to understand how a woman's word, a woman's brain works when it comes to attraction and relationship.
Maybe.
Attraction,
you know that in the wives of Pastor Mildred, she can't exactly be a standard because her own was revelation.
Exactly.
When it's revelation, you don't have any choice.
But it's not just her. I'm talking about most women.
No, I'm saying that her own case is sui generis.
That aside. I'm telling you that most women, it is not physical attraction. The person they end up marrying, is not usually physical attraction for them first.
Okay.
Men are attracted, they are visual.
Yes.
Women are more emotional, right? They are more how they say it, moved by what they hear.
Okay, but is she connected to the guy
because they are
emotionally?
Friends. Yes, I'm sure they are.
No, because you are friends does not mean I connect to you emotionally.
That's why she did not say in any other aspect. She said sexually, that's the only part that she's having issues with. And they are just starting. And that is normal for many women. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Majority of women, unless most times when they are attracted to you sexually, is lost. You understand? They just want to have a piece of you. When they get to know you, they get to realize that me and this person, we cannot gel. You understand? But for us women, sometimes it's just we fall in love with, you were asking me this morning when we were talking about the married man thing, that what is it for women? So that when a woman sees a man that takes care of her, that understands her, that listens to her, that makes her laugh, there is nothing sexual there. It is just pure, I like you. That was the things I loved about you. You made me laugh. You made me feel nice. You supported my dreams. There was as in, you were there for me anytime I needed you. You were listening ears. You understand, when I needed someone to talk to. You were my friend before we started dating. You understand, we had easy conversations. We gel in so many ways. You support me. You were my cheerleader. When something happens to me, I want to talk to you. You understand? There was nothing sexual there. It was just pure affection. That is what most women look for.
Okay then.
Yeah. So that's why I can relate with her, that sexual attraction, it's normal that you might not be there. But the danger is, after you've now gotten to know each other, date each other, and you still don't find him sexually attractive. That's the problem. Right? So for most women, it's not a problem. And you ladies can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Especially those who are married. Let me know if you were sexually attracted to your husband when you started dating. Most of them will tell you that they were not in their, you hear a lot of ladies say that they're not in their category, and I'm sure you've heard a number of them say so. They're not in their category.
I don't attach much weight to it because I've heard them say it, and the reason I don't attach much weight is because I've come to realize that women don't exactly go for what's better for them. They prefer what they like.
Okay, whatever that means.
You don't get, most of the people that you are referring to now, who we've heard their testimonies, if they tell you who they would have liked, it's a lot variance with who they are with, but who they are with is the best fit for them.
And that's what so they go for who is best fit for them, not who they like.
That's why I say I don't attach much weight to the fact that they don't like the man from the outside, because they don't know what they want.
That's what
they don't know what's good for them. But that's by the way,
that's what we are saying too. They chose to marry the person, so they know what's good for them. It's just the attraction thing. Some people want to have whatever. Anyways, let's move on. So I hope you get that. All right. So Omole said, thank you so much for this. What do we do when we have you have a public figure as a spouse? How do you keep the relationship and the pressure that comes towards expectations of people and seeing one spouse with much opposite sex too, handling success and that? Okay, she's trying to say that what do you do when you have a spouse who is popular, has to work with opposite sex, people, you understand, and societal expectations of you, with the pressure that comes towards expectations of people seeing your spouse with so much opposite sex. So what advice would you give as the husband to a celebrity?
Albina. I think the first thing is knowing who you married. The person, no one is perfect. I'm not saying that knowing him will make him automatically immune to trouble. But if you know him enough to know that he can separate his work from his emotion in certain ways, how do I put it, if you're in certain kind of career, if as a guy I'm a makeup artist, or I'm a hairdresser, or I'm a stylist, or I make clothes, or I'm a musician, the chances, or I'm an actor or whatever, the chances I would have relate with ladies a lot is there. Do you understand? And the more successful I am, the more pool of ladies I'll relate with.
Yeah.
Now, but does my wife know that I can separate that aspect of me from my romantic entanglement and all that? Then two, what specific strictures has the person put in place to prevent certain things from happening? So what strictures or structures has he put in place to protect him? Not necessarily because he's undisciplined, but because if you're in the public glare, you should anticipate scandals and all those things that can derail your career. So what has he put in place? And I'm also saying that this because it's arguable that you probably knew this was what he was doing. So even if he wasn't successful, as it were, when you met him, you had the idea that he could be successful. Now, if you met him that way, that's successful, you also know that these are things that are, that I expected. So all of those will play a role in how you handle it. And I know that the society will demand or will make demands of your marriage, but ultimately you have to shut down the noise of the public and focus on what you and your partner have worked out for yourself that will work for you. There will always be societal, family expectations of couples. It's not behooves the couple to fix what works for them, what they can work with, as against all of those ones. And once you make that decision, it doesn't mean that there won't be those noise. It just means that both of you can choose and focus on yourselves and ignore all of those things. So if, for instance, now your husband or the man is in the public glare, like you're saying, and you're a very private person, if your husband is fine with it, then you don't have any problem. It's not compulsory you must be going on tours with him or all those ones, because I mean, for all instance you may want to ask of celebrities, as we were, who had couple or partner celebrity. You also have celebrities who you don't even know their spouse. So it shows you, and both sides, male, female. We have female celebrities that you don't know who their husband is. They are married, they have children. You barely know anything about the men. And we have male celebrities that you barely know nothing about their spouse too. And that's because both of them have decided that, okay, I'm going to keep work different from family and all that. So forget societal expectations, forget all those ones. Work out what works for both of you.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the first thing you need when you're dating someone that is popular or has the potential to be popular, right, is trust. You need to trust the person that you're with. And like I said, trust has a lot of trust is built on honesty, transparency, right? There's no accountability too. There's no hiding of phones, there's no hiding of, there's no conversation that you cannot really tell how it got there. There's no strange relationship. There's no, you understand, when he's open to you, it's easy.
They restore the life. Yes. I don't talk now.
I'm done talking. So yes, so I said trust is very, very important. You cannot date someone who is popular without trusting the person, knowing the person's character. You understand the person's principles. Okay, anybody that is famous, that does not have principles, would most likely fall. Because especially if you're dating someone who is a celebrity, an actor, an actress, or there's a lot of temptation. So the person has to be a person of principles for the person to be able to say, yes, this might be what is happening. It's like dating a politician and you being a pastor. Why are you pointing at me? Am I a politician? Soon to be. Anyways, it's like you being a pastor and dating a politician. You understand? Like the person has to be principled, not to steal or not to lie or not to deceive or not to, you understand? So the person has to be a person of principle, right? And then you understand, you need to have open conversations. And it needs to be open to your insecurities, because as a woman, it's normal that when we start to see things that it's not adding up, we want to ask questions, right? What are the responses he's getting? Is he a person that get upset when you ask him questions like that? And I understand for some guys, they might feel like, oh, you don't trust me. But you need to let him understand that it's not because I don't trust you, right? It's just for myself, for my sanity. I need to know so that I will be okay, right? So you need to have those conversations and let him know that I have certain insecurities about your job, but I realize that it is your job and you need to keep doing it. But would you be able to, I need you to be able to accommodate my insecurities. So when I ask you questions, I need to know. It's not because I don't trust you, right? It is because I just need to know for my own peace of mind, right? And I think a man who understands that, especially understanding his industry, he would understand why you need that.
Besides, it can even act as a check for him.
Exactly.
Because it's possible you're having a conversation with a client or female, whatever, and the conversation is taking a certain note, you don't know. But when you remember that if my wife sees this and asks questions, I have to be able to explain. It will help you nip it in the bud. Even if normally you would have been much more, maybe a bit more relaxed, like I'm nothing, but knowing that there's a check, knowing that there's someone you're accountable to will help you.
Yeah. So just understanding, right? Just trying to have an understanding with your partner. I think that would really help you guys a lot, right? And yeah, just you need to also understand that it's his job. So don't read meaning to everything. And anytime you have insecurities, ask. Right, I think that's what would actually help. And when it comes to opposite sex, like I said, it's an industry filled with temptation. Once it's principled, you know. And then you're talking about men that nobody knows their wife. RMD is an instance. We know his wife, but the wife, we're talking about is one of the most wanted, loved actor.
It was a popular OAP, and
you understand. Today, people are writing love letter and all of that, but he's a man of principle.
Mid to late 90s, she was a very popular OAP, very, very popular.
But in as much as that was happening, you know that he's a man of principle. I've never heard of any scandal with his name on it. You understand?
And yes, because for a man to be principled is not only you principle. You have to put system in place to guarantee that your principles.
Exactly.
Without those systems, you'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
It was said of Olu Jacob that no matter how much nonsense was happening in Nollywood, everybody knows that you cannot go near him. As a lady, you can't play any rough play or one thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a matter of principle. So know who you marry, talk to him about your insecurities, have open conversations, and just trust him. Trust me. If you have trust for him, all those, when he tells you that this is what he is, you take it like that. You understand? But if he's giving you reasons to doubt, that's where the problem is. If you're asking a question, it's not gelling, you are seeing text messages that does not make sense, you understand? That's when you need to get worried, okay? But without that, don't give yourself hypertension on him just being him. Okay, all right. So the next question is from Anu. She said, I don't have question. I just want to say I appreciate your effort in putting out videos every week. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you appreciate it. Now it's 3 times a week. By the way, my upload days are Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. Okay, Bemi said, is it advisable for a lady to ask a guy out on a date to get to know him or even tell him that she likes him? If so, how would you advise her to go about it? Guy, how would you?
They say lady. No?
Come on. But your approach. I want to hear from a guy's perspective. Would you be okay with it? Because I know I've asked you this before, so I want to know if your answer has changed. Would you be okay with a lady approaching you and asking you out on a date?
Absolutely not.
You wouldn't like it?
I'll have no problem with it.
Oh, okay. I fear, because I know in the last time you said you didn't have problem.
I have no problem with it. I mean, it's not a big deal. In fact, I like that. It's a bonus for me, for the girl. You see what you want, have you go for it. Yes, that you have the confidence to to do something different or something that is not exactly the norm in this climb. But there's no big deal about it. The only thing is if you can undo the rejection if it comes. Yeah. Like, the fact that you ask me out or you propose a date does not guarantee that something will happen between us. If you can handle and honestly, I would do my best to not make you feel any bad in that kind of situation. If a lady asks me out or says, let's go out on a date, let me get to know you and all that, I'll do my best to let you have a good time. But if something is not going to happen, I'll also be very direct about it. If you can handle that, if you not try to guilt trip me, Because if you try to guilt trip me, I will get upset. I mean, it has happened to me before that I told a lady we can't date, but she didn't agree. She thought she could make it happen. And at the time, she started to make me feel bad. And I was pretty upset. That was your problem. I could have lied to you. I could have... Do you understand? All this kind of thing. But bearing that one...
Were you chopping her?
No, I never. At all.
Who is the lady?
My friend.
I know her.
I think I've told you about her, but I don't know if you know the name.
F.
No. Ah, are you serious? No.
Okay, all right. So okay, for me, right, I think there's nothing wrong or there's nothing bad in approaching a guy if you like him, but it's the way you approach him that matters. I, for one, would not advise you go and say, hey, can I take you out on a date? I think the guy will first of all feel, because see, I know we're in 21st century, but men still have their ego. Okay, it's like a lady proposing to a man. See, I don't care the nonsense feminism that you guys are doing. A man will not feel comfortable. So after he proposes to you, will you pay his groom price? There are some things that should be left for a man. It is the man that lives and cleaves. It's not the woman that does that. Let's not get it mixed. And this is not me trying to be 19th century. It is the truth. I've seen men who do that and they feel embarrassed. Like, why did you have to do it? You understand? If I want to ask you to marry, I ask you. Don't ask me to marry you. Do you understand? But anyways, that's another topic. But yeah, don't go and ask him out.
You can ask me to marry you if we've discussed marriage. But if we've not discussed marriage... Please.
So if I had asked you, if I had proposed to you...
That's what I'm saying. If we have discussed
even as we discuss marriage, if I now did a public proposal to you...
Why will you do public proposal? Even me, I won't do public proposal. What are you talking about? Why will you do public proposal? Even me, I won't do public proposal.
So if you were, okay, so no public proposal. So privately, I now ask you and I remove a ring.
We've been talking about marriage. One thing. I'll just laugh that. You know, it won't be something that worry me. Because we have conversation along that line. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Even me as a guy, I can't ask a guy.
But what if
I can't propose
ready?
To a guy. The fact that you propose to me does not mean we are ready to. We are going to marry next week.
Yeah, but don't you think that's?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Anyways.
You know, there's a way you'd have had conversations to points when you know that okay, this is going to happen. You may not know the exact date or all those ones. So even I, as a guy, I can't propose to a lady that we've not had conversations along that line, and I know for a fact that at least I have 65-70% chance of her saying yes. I won't do it. That's me. That's even me, a guy, whether publicly or privately. So I can't just spring it as a surprise on a lady. It's not my style.
No, well,
do you understand?
Just date and they don't. So I don't know why you are even dating without.
So no, if
marriage.
You want to date for dating sake, no problem. It's your cup of tea. Enjoy. So, but bearing any of all those things, there may not be problems, so to speak. But aside that, that's the thing. A girl asking me out or asking me on a date, I don't think there's any problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not saying that don't ask. I'm just saying the way you ask. Don't go and approach him. So if you're saying, "Hey, can I take you out? Can I take you out on a date? I would like to get to know you."
No, of course you can't.
Yeah.
You can't talk
so if
to.
You say, "Hey,
Alpha,
have you had lunch? What do you have?"
You can't talk to a guy like that
tomorrow.
Especially if it.
I have 2 tickets to
there's a luxury that guy has that women don't have exactly. A guy can walk to a random lady and ask her out. Most times, if a lady cannot, especially in the part of the world we are in, because let me even be realistic. Let me say I go to a party or I go to a hangout, I'm unmarried, and a lady just comes and be like, "What's up? Let me take you out tomorrow." I'm going to run. I'm going to run like mad. Like they don't ask her to bring somebody that you want to use. But if we are friends. Or we've known each other a while, we've been interacting, it's a different thing. And
yeah, but even if, I'm just saying that the way you approach it, right? If, for instance, you have 2 tickets to a game, for instance, and you say, "Hey, I was going to go with a friend."
You went to go and buy 2 tickets.
That's what I'm saying. But you don't go and tell him that you bought 2 tickets. You say, "I wanted to go with my friend, or would you like to attend with me?" That's a different thing. Oh, there's a movie coming up. I think you will like it. Would you like my friend that I bought ticket for said you will not go? That's a way of, indirectly, saying it. Or you are not even friends. Right, but you like him, then you go through your friend. that is his friend or a mutual friend, you understand, just tell him that this my girl is liking, just to be able to see if there's even if there's a chance. You understand, there's a way to do it. Or you go through his friend, you understand, and say, tell me about this your guy, you understand, and let there be an intermediary, so that don't go and please don't do that. Okay, so it's the manner at which you do it, right? So okay, I've already talked about, she said, how do you advise her to go about it? I've already spoken about that. So what said, what is the sweetest part of marriage?
I don't know.
You don't know the sweetest part?
Come and find out.
No, now what's the sweetest part in our marriage?
Everybody has their own, and I don't think there is one sweetest part. They have several sweet parts. So, and my wife knows I'm not the type that fixate on tiny or stuff details. I don't really like it because I feel like it invalidates other parts. So I can't really tell you that this is, and whatever is sweet about my marriage, my wife and I knows. That's all.
So that's the secret.
I'm not.
Well, to me,
to
me, right, the sweetest part of marriage for me is having someone to do life with, right? Having somebody you know is always by your side. It wants what's best for you, right? It wants you to be better. Having that person you can, when you're sad, a person, a shoulder, even not even anything, a chest you can rest on when you're frustrated and you're tired, the person you can vent to. That is the sweetest part of marriage for me. When I'm confused and I don't know what to do and I need direction and I'm praying nothing is happening and I ask for my husband and he gives me wisdom. You understand? Because, and I'm not second guessing him, because I know whatever affects me affects him. So I know he genuinely wants only the best for me. So having that person that you know that is your person, come rain, come shine, is the person that you know is for you. I think that's the sweetest part of marriage for me, right? Just having that person that you know you guys can weather the storm together, not having to go through life alone. I think to me that's the sweetest part of marriage, right? My husband has refused to tell you his own. Maybe it is in the other room. That's why he does not want to say it.
You think I'll rise to that kind of bait?
I'm not putting a bait for you. Anyway, Joy said, how can one stay sexually pure in a relationship and still maintain romance? We already have a whole video on this that we shot recently. How he stayed celibate for me, how I waited. I have so many videos on that. So please go and watch those videos, okay? Favor said, how is your new year going and how is Mr. Fash doing? Mr. Fash is doing well. Our new year is going good. We thank God. Tayu said, how do you say no without feeling bad and without hurting your partner in the other room? How long can infatuation last? I don't think my battery will be able to sustain this. Let me charge it a bit.